Hello YouTubers, welcome back to Those White You Guys. I'm Alessandro, your host, and in this video I'm going to be doing a Macro Rabbit updated deck profile for the March 2013 format. So without further ado, I will be doing an update and show you guys what I've been running in my Macro Rabbit deck. I know some of you guys will be like saying, oh my gosh, Macro Rabbit, I really don't like this deck, and la 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 la. Now granted, what I'm about to say, some of you guys are going to hate me, but here's the truth. I don't think Rabbit is that big of a problem. The reason is that many people get the misconception on the fact that, actually, people keep thinking about the Rescue Rabbit and Tour Guide are at 3s. I mean, that's like last year. I mean, now this is present. Quit thinking about the past. I mean, yes, Rescue Rabbit and Tour Guide, they're like the strongest dynamic duos when it comes down to the deck's potential and all that. But people get the idea with like Rescue Rabbit, go into Laggia, set 4 or 5 back rows, go. I mean, I wish that was gonna happen a little bit more often, but in all honesty, that doesn't always happen, really. Believe it or not. Yes, they're gonna have Rescue Rabbit or Tour Guide. Rarely gonna see both together in one game. So quit saying like Rescue Rabbit, Tour Guide, automatic lose, because that's pretty rare to see those two together. And people would usually say like Rescue Rabbit hurt derp and all that, and it's like, to me, is my general thinking is like, okay, if you call that a herp derp, I don't know what you guys call the Mermail place, because to me it's like, if we're taking that idea of the herp derp, then to me when it comes down to Mermails, it's gonna be like nuclear herp derp, because that's like insane, the deck. So yeah. And also the deck is all about skills. It's not like you can be a scrub and think like, oh, I can do this, because you gotta have some skill to play this deck. Otherwise, if you don't want to play a skill-based deck, then go play something else like Fire Kings, because that really requires very little skills. So yeah. But before I get started with this deck profile, I'd like to give a shout out to Judgment Dragon 1000 for commenting my last video that I posted, Mono Mermaids vs. Heroes Game 2. I made an error on one turn of the duel, where I accidentally activated 2 Mermaid Bisgundi's effects in that one turn. Well, they were separate. It was like a main phase 1 Bisgundi's effect, and then like I got caught with explosive plays and Mermails and all that, and after the torrential play that my brother pulled and all that, then I was like, okay, Mermail Bistius, discard the second Mermail Bisgundi, special summon, activate the second Mermail Bisgundi's effect, which you can only activate once per turn. So you can only activate, well, let me specify. You can only activate the effect of Mermail Bisgundi's once per turn. So I made that big error. So I thank him for pointing that out. So I already put it in the description box, because I tried to do annotation, but technology is being difficult with me. So yes. So yeah. But shoutouts to Judgment Dragon 1000. I already checked out a couple of his videos. I really like them very much, and I think they deserve more attention. So if you guys can, if you're watching this video, go check out Judgment Dragon 1000. Give him the support you guys can. I'm sure he'll be grateful for that. And Judgment Dragon 1000, if you're watching this, thank you so much for pointing that out in my last video. And hope you enjoy watching this deck profile. So without further ado, let's get on to the deck profile of the March 2013 Mac Rabbits. Okay, so if we're going down to Mac Rabbit deck, we're gonna go down to the Heart and Soul. 2 Rescue Rabbits, because why would you call it a Rabbit deck if you're not running Rescue Rabbit? And for his targets, first target, a play set of Sabersaurus, awesome beat stick. Second target, Kabazauls, not bad. Then next tech card, 3 Jurrac Guaibas for an extra dinosaurs to go into your Laggia and Dolkka plays. Pretty good. Now that Mermails are becoming very big in this format, Jurrac Guaiba is going to be really necessary. You can run over plenty of monsters, and then you get into another Jurrac Guaiba, and then you exceed. So I find that very necessary. Then the next Heart and Soul of the deck, 2 tour guides to go into your instant rank 3 plays. Very crucial. And we're not done with the tour guide engine. I am running 1 Night Assailant. He's a pretty good standalone card. You just set him, and then when they attack, he's flip up and he destroys one of your opponent's monsters. So pretty good. I like it. I used to run a 4th target for a 4th theme monster for the tour guide engine, but I've been seeing a lot of people don't run it, don't recommend it and all that, so I decided to just stick with 2 tour guides and 1 Night Assailant, and I think that's good enough. Then we have 2 Spirit Reapers for defense, just in case something goes wrong. Might change, depends. If I want to main deck either like a Thunder King Raya or Snowman Eaters, that was some people have been talking about. So if you guys suggest either of those cards to replace Snowman and Spirit Reapers or such forth, please do so. Comment down below. Please don't comment down below about card Ds, because that card is kind of expensive for me right now, and I have other plans for the future of this format for other decks, so I like to save my resource and money, so please don't recommend card Ds. And last monster for this monster lineup, the 1 Neo-Spacian Grand Mole, just to deal with pesky Synchro Xe non-mini monsters, just attack, bounce. So yeah. So that's it for the monsters. Moving on to the spells. So first up, we have a playset of Forbidden Lands. Now that Solemn Warning went down to 1, this card's popularity increased tremendously. A loss of 800 attack points, but it makes that one monster to be unaffected by the effects of other spells and track cards. That's going to be crucial, because we're going to be seeing an increased plays of Compulsory Evacuation Device, Bottomless Trap Holes, and such forth. It's going to be very, very crucial to protect your monsters as much as you can, because you're not running a lot of monsters, to be honest. So do keep your monsters' resources in mind. And it can be also a good out when it comes down to dealing with big beater monsters, like, oh, I attacked into your monster. It's like, okay, Forbidden Lands, your monster is now affected by the spells and track card. Pretty good against when you're playing against Fire Fist, because when they do the fire formations and all that, that monster is now unaffected by the attack bonus from the fire formation. So now their monster's gonna get a lot weaker, and they're gonna take more damage and all that. So that's a pretty cool idea, since Fire Fist is becoming pretty big. Then we're also running 2 Mystical Space Typhoon just for back row removal. Then the 1-ofs, the Holy Trinity, Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, Monster Reborn. Then I tech in 1 Book of Moon, just in case if I don't have lands and I have a Jurrac Guaiba, this is going to be a good card to put a monster with weak defense, and then let my Guaiba just run over and get another Guaiba. So yeah, So, yeah. That's it for the spells. Now for the big chunk of the deck, the traps. We have 2 Dimensional Prisons. Pretty much banish your opponent's attacking monster and be done with it. Can't get any wrong with that. Up next, 2 Fiendish Chains. Select one face-up monster on the field. Its effect is negated and prevented from attacking, so that cannot be too bad because it's very popular, very good in last format, and will still continue to be awesome in this format, so yeah. Then we have 2 Mirror Force, and also I'm going to put this alongside with this, and then 1 Torrential. I'm going back and forth where if I want to do 1 Mirror Force and 2 Torrentials, or I just stick with 2 Mirror Forces and 1 Torrential. Since now this whole entire format has become very aggressive and all that, I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys think 2 Mirror Forces and 1 Torrential is pretty good? Or do you think the other way, vice versa? So, please comment down below what are your suggestions and all that. Bottomless 2 Bottomless Triples, pretty good. They summon big, you destroy it and banish it. So, pretty good. Then, you can't call Macro Rabbit without 2 Macrocosmoses because that card is like an instant out to Mermouse. Because if Mermouse don't have an out to Macrocosmos like an MST or a Heavy Storm and so forth, pretty much they're going to belly up and auto lose, pretty much. This also can hurt the Fire Fist monster's effects, so like Bear and Gorilla, they need to send a Fire Formation spell track card from their side of the field to the graveyard, while you have a face-up Macrocosmos on the field. That's not going to happen because pretty much all cards that goes to the graveyard instead goes to the banish pile, so they cannot activate Bear Gorilla's effect because they specify that this Fire Formation spell and track card needs to go to the graveyard. So, but do keep in mind, even though you have Macrocosmos spent the Fire Fist monster's effect, the Fire Formation spells and track cards, their attack bonus can add up pretty quick. So you may not think that 100 and 300 may not be that much, but believe me, it's going to add up pretty quick. So please do be careful when dealing with Fire Fist. Then the 1-ofs, 1 Starlight Road, just to prevent mass destruction, Torrential, Dark Hole, Black Rose, Judgment Dragon, so forth. And then the 1-ofs, Solemn Warning. I don't know why Konami put this down to 1 and leave Mermouse untouched. That's just beyond my knowledge. But yeah, we're just going to have to make use of it, even though it's 1. And then the 1 Solemn Judgment, just to go along with the Solemn Warning. So that's it for the main deck. So let's get down to the extra deck. The extra deck is very similar to Joe Giolando's extra deck when you take to YCS Seattle. Ever since I built Macro Rabbit last format and get an idea how to play the deck, I kind of copied his extra deck, and now I'm kind of going back and forth on 2 tech cards. On one particular card I'm going to mention when I go through the extra deck. I might be discussing some replacements or so, but let's get down to the extra deck when we get down to just replacements and stuff. I've been running 1 Wind-Up Zenmaines and also rank 3 defensive play. 1 number 39 Utopia, B-Stick, defensive play. I can go over Mermaid Biscuits because he's actually 2400 defense. That's pretty big. I mean, Leviair Dolkka can't really get over, and Forbidden Lands can do jack squat because it only affects attack points. So, gets some beef into it. 1 Temtempo, the Percussion Djinn, pretty much good against when you're dealing with a deck that's heavy on XYZ plays and all that. Eat up an XYZ material, gains strength and all that. So, pretty good card. 1 Maestroke, the Symphony Djinn. Pretty much Bookmoon on legs, and plus he can protect your Djinn monster by detaching one XYZ material from this card. So pretty good. Number 30 as the Golem. I've been going back and forth with this card, but I keep this card in. Sometimes I really need to have some extra power, just in case if there's a big monster, I really need to get a serious out to it. Say, for example, Murmur Abyss Gaios. I mean, that thing is pretty big and beastly. 2800 attack, has a walking skill drain effect for monsters with 1000. I mean, pretty much attack points lowered less than Abyss Gaios, and prevent level 5 or higher from attacking. I mean, that's pretty big. And pretty beastly and annoying to deal with. So, I mean, this would be a nice answer to it. Also run one Photon Papilloperative. Pretty much the worst case scenario that this deck can go through is dealing with monsters that are indestructible in battle and they stall. So pretty much this would be one particular good card to go against, like when your opponent's side into like Galenduo, Arcana Force Zero the Fool. What else is there? God, I'm losing my Spirit Reaper. Just to name a few. Pretty much, you just put them in attack mode and they become an instant punch you back. If it was Arcana Force Zero the Fool, you pretty much automatically win because that thing is not going back to defense mode because of his own effect. Spirit Reaper, if it was face up in defense, just target him with Papilloperative's effect, he self-destructs. And then Galenduo, once you deal damage to your opponent's life points, Galenduo self-destructs as well. So yeah, it's a pretty good card. One Gagaga Cowboy, just to deal with any monster with less than 2,500 attack points when he attacks and uses attack position as effect. And then when he's in defense mode, you pretty much you can burn him or him or her, your opponent, by 800 points. So that's pretty cool. So if you're not yet settled game, maybe the 800 burn damage can really settle for game. It can happen. I mean, it's been done plenty of times. So yeah. And supposedly this card went up for $25, which was $20 to $25 on eBay, which shocked me. So I'm kind of glad I got this card. So yeah. One number 17 Leviathan Dragon, beat stick. Two Evolzar Dolkkas for monster effect negation and all that. Pretty much good against Insectors and gosh, I'm trying to remember right now. Insectors and Mermails. Yeah. Then two Evolzar Laggia, pretty much the walking Solemn Judgment. 2,400 attack. This is where I'm gonna be on the fence on that. I'm running two Leviair the Sea Dragons. I'm on debate whether or not I should take one out and replace one of the two cards I have decided once I've done with the last card of my extra deck, and I'll be discussing that. So please do comment down below whether or not do I need two Leviair the Sea Dragon in my extra deck, or do you think I just need one, just replace the second one with something else. So I'll get down to the two tech choices I have in mind. And then the last card, one Stardust Dragon for your Starlight Road. So for replacements, for if I want to replace Leviair, or maybe some other card from the extra deck that you guys might suggest, I have two cards that I probably have in mind. So hear me out. One tech choice I was thinking about running, it would be number 50 Black Ship of Corn. It has a pretty cool effect. Detach one XYZ material from this card to target one face-up monster your opponent controls with attack points less than or equal to this card, which is like pretty much 21 or less. And you just detach one XYZ material, send that monster that your opponent controls to the graveyard, and inflict 1,000 points of damage to your opponent. Yeah, but this card cannot attack. Well, this is going to be a pretty interesting out when they have like a face-up Mermaid Abyssland. So you're like, okay, detach, send Mermaid Abyssal to the graveyard, and inflict 1,000 points of damage. And here's the cool part about Mermaid Abyssal. Mermaid Abyssal stated she needs to be destroyed and sent to the graveyard. Not sent to the graveyard from field to the graveyard. So that's actually pretty good. So that's like an instant out against Mermaid Abyssalin's plays, which is pretty cool. And other good cards, so I think this is pretty cool. And also deal with stall cards, stall monsters and all that, so yeah. And then the other card I have is Mermaid Abyss Dweller, because hey, mermaids are becoming very popular, but I think this might be a little bit overkill, maybe to you, but well we'll see. What this card can do is, while this card has an XYZ material attached that was originally water, all water monsters you control gains 500 attack points. Namely, the one spare, any of the spare Kabazauls, and himself becomes stronger. Pretty much 2,200 beaters. And once per turn, during either player's turn, I can attach one XYZ material from this card. Any card effects that activate in my opponent's graveyard cannot be activated this turn. Very good against Dark Worlds, Mermaids, half the stuff in Inzectors. So, yeah. So, if you guys think I should replace one of the Leviairs for either one of those two cards, please comment down below. Any feedback will be really appreciated. Just please don't comment and say like, yeah, let's run card Ds and all that, because like I said before, I don't really have the money to do that and so forth. And because I have other deck plans in mind for this coming format. So without further ado, what I do have in mind in store is once Lord Tachyon Galaxies come, well, while that says coming closer and closer, I'll be revisiting my Dragoony build. It's really fun. I enjoyed playing this deck. I love it to death. I don't know if I'm going to be doing the Heretic Dragoonies, or do I want to go to the Tempest Dragoony build that has been very popular in the OCG. So I'm really discussing about that one. Also, another deck I have in mind will be, well, I'm going back old school. I'm going to be building Infernities. I think I really miss this deck. I always go on an on and off period while it comes down to building Infernities, and I really love the archetype of the deck. It's really cool, very unique. It's not as stupid as the decks now today, so this is going to be very interesting. So I'm going to start working on Infernities as well as working on Dragoonies. So please comment down below what you guys think about my Macro Rabbit deck. Do you guys think it looks good? Do you think you have suggestions to improve it and such forth? Please comment down below. Suggestions will be grateful, and hearing your thoughts and maybe leave a video response will be also pretty good. So also don't forget, after you finish watching this video or pause it in the middle, check out Judgment Dragon 1000's channel. I shall have a link down below in the description box, along with the deck list of my decks. So that's pretty much all I have to say. So take care, guys. I'll see you guys later in the next time I'm gonna be posting up those Wajia guys. So see you. Take care. Peace.